Hello, Nigeria. Time again for another edition of Newsline, your Sunday potpourri of human interest stories. I am Jennifer Igwe. Now, no violence against a child is justifiable. None. Whether at school, religious center, at home, or in the community. This is because such abuse could leave the child with injuries that may never heal, leading to lifelong consequences. This can be prevented, and the society, backed by law, has a role to play. A story on a 6-year-old victim captures this ill. Then the NTA stands against rape and rapists, so highlighting cases and consequences to assist victims get justice is top priority to us. We also support measures to help families and communities check this anomaly and evil. On our lineup are stories on the plight of victims and communities. And of course, what is Newsline without cultural celebrations? And the news segment. So I'll hand you over to Claire Adilabu Abdurazak in Abuja for the news. Claire, over to you.
Hey, and good evening and welcome to Abuja News Studios. Now, the Accident Investigation Bureau, Nigeria, AIB, has been mandated by the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, to lead the investigation into the crash that occurred on Friday in Kaduna. A statement by the AIB General Manager, Public Affairs, Tunji Oketumbi, states that the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder from the accidented Beechcraft 350 aircraft have been recovered and investigation has commenced. Investigators will download and analyze vital information contained in the recorders at the AIB's world-class flight safety laboratory in Abuja. Meanwhile, the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has condoled with the wife of Chief of Army Staff, Fati Atairu, her family members, and the Nigerian Armed Forces over the death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atairu, and 10 other gallant officers who died in a plane crash in Kaduna on Friday. The First Lady described their death as a great loss to the nation. Our State House correspondent Aliyu Kabiru tells us more.
The First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by the members of her family, as well as the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, the Director General, National Center for Women Development, Asebe Vilita Bashir, and the APC National Women Representative of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Stella Okotete, and other top Nigerian women, paid a condolence visit to the wife of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, describing his death as a national tragedy. While sympathizing and consoling his wife, Pati Atahiru, and other members of the family, the First Lady said the selfless service of the late Chief of Army Staff and other gallant officers who died along with him will not be in vain, and pray to God to grant them eternal rest and give the entire family the fortitude to bear the loss.
Her Excellency consoled with the entire family, and she prays that the wife and children, God will give them the fortitude to accept what we cannot change. May Allah console all of us.
And this loss is just not for the family, not for the Nigerian Armed Forces, but the whole of Nigeria. And we pray for Almighty Allah to repose the souls of the departed.
Watching some of his programs, he was always so passionate about ensuring that we overcome the insecurity, banditry, kidnapping and terrorism that we are currently facing as a nation.
We mourn with the whole Nigeria. This is the time that Nigeria needs these gallant men. Unfortunately, they have left us at the time that we need them most.
The First Lady assured the family of her full support and the support of the entire Nigerian women in this trying period, and urged them to take solace in the fact that they have died as heroes while protecting the territorial integrity of the country. In Abuja, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
And news just in now says that President Muhammadu Buhari has described Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tairu, the late Chief of Army Staff, as an outstanding soldier and an institution builder who fought valiantly for Nigeria until he breathed his last. In a telephone conversation which ended a short while ago with Mrs. Fatih Ibrahim Tairu, wife of the late Chief of Army Staff, and the spouses of the other deceased officers through her, President Buhari hailed the sacrifices of the military men who lost their lives and the armed forces in general, saying that Nigerians will continue to appreciate and support the fearlessness with which our courageous soldiers are confronting the threats facing the nation. The President gave the grieving spouses assurances that the nation will never forget the supreme sacrifice of their spouses, urging them to take solace in the surge of extraordinary feelings of emotions across regions, religions, and ethnicity all over the country in appreciation of their sacrifices. The President, who had given earlier directives to the Defense Headquarters and the Ministry to do everything the government can do to provide comfort and ease the hardships of the families of the deceased, prayed to Almighty to repose their souls and grant their families the fortitude to bear the loss. Mrs. Atairu, on her part, on behalf of the rest of the families, thanked the President for his messages. In other stories, the Minister of Defense, General Bashiru Salihi Magashi, has paid a condolence visit to the family of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tairu, at the Niger Barracks in Abuja. Consoling the bereaved family, the Minister of Defense prayed for the repose of the souls of the departed officers and soldiers. In the same vein, the wife of the Vice President, Dolakbo Oshimbajo, who joined the Minister in the residence of the late Brigadier General Lainka, expressed sympathy with the bereaved family and prayed for God's mercy on the souls of the departed. On the minister's entourage are the Chief of Defense Staff and the two service chiefs of the Navy and Air Force. And President Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic has also condoled with President Muhammadu Buhari, government and people of Nigeria on the death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tairu, and 10 other military officers in a plane crash on Friday. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says President Bazoum described the incident as tragic and unfortunate, expressing the condolences of Niger Republic to Nigeria and prayed Allah to repose the souls of the departed. In his response, President Muhammadu Buhari commended President Bazoum for sharing this moment of grief with Nigerians, pledging that their sacrifices will not be forgotten. Now to Kano State, where 2 lives were lost while 28 others are currently on admission. Now they're among 60 victims caught up in a petroleum tank explosion at a filling station in Shalata industrial area of Kano. Hadiza Mohammed reports that 8 men of the State Fire Service were also involved.
The incident occurred when the tanker offloading its content at the filling station along Sharada industrial area caught up with fire.
Currently, we have 28 patients on admission. 8 of them are members of the fire service, while the other 18 were the passers-by and those that went to the incident site for sightseeing. Out of that 28, 2 had sustained fractures, and all of them are receiving treatment.
The incident, which scared workers of the filling station and neighboring business owners, received prompt intervention of the Kano State Fire Service, Nigerian Red Cross, Kano State Road Transport Agency, and more help from neighboring companies.
We are unable to control the situation. The fire became under control by our firemen.
The Red Cross was informed through our usual contact. People call us and our volunteers was able to rush and offer assistance.
An eyewitness revealed to NTA News that after the situation was contained, a worker at the filling station mounted the oil tanker and opened its compartment, after which it instantly exploded. 8 men of the Kano State Fire Service, many people who have gathered at the scene of the incident, and passers-by alike sustained fractures and various degree of injuries. Presently, 28 casualties are bedridden at the Murtala Muhammad Specialists and Abdullahi Wasi Teaching Hospitals, receiving free treatment. Stakeholders have continued to warn people to desist from taking decisions that could cost them their lives and stop turning dangerous scenarios into avenues of excitement and attractions. In Kano, Hadiza Muhammad, NTA News.
Now, in other stories, a total of 580 bags, equivalent to 120 drams of liquid substance suspected to be refined automotive gas oil, popularly called diesel, have been intercepted by men of the Nigerian Navy ship Lugard, Lokoja, along the coast of River Niger. The Navy paraded the culprits at the NN ship Lugard. Our correspondent Solomon Ayedin reports.
The 8 persons suspected of illegal bunkering were arrested along Itobe-Ida axis on the coast of River Niger, conveying the illegal substance worth millions of naira from Delta State in a wooden fiber boat by men of the Nigerian Navy ship Lugard, Lokoja.
We dey buy am for Delta State, for Warubia. If we buy am for there, we come for Ida to come sell. I know say na this we carry. So I know it's illegal.
What the Navy have done so far, I think, as far as the state is concerned, we are very satisfied. They are doing their job on water. Other security agencies are doing a beautiful job on land.
We are here with a new vigor, a new mandate, and a determination to make sure that it is no longer business as usual for those who are involved in criminalities on the waterways of Kogi State.
In a related development, the command also paraded the duo of Halilu Audu and Aliyu Mohammed arrested around Ajaokuta to be axis on Niger River, conveying 553.5 kg substance discovered to be cannabis sativa from Jegono en route Loco in Nasarawa State. This achievement, the commander explained, was in line with the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Swaibu Gambo's directive on zero tolerance to all forms of criminality on Nigerian waterways. The suspects have been handed over to relevant agencies of government for further investigation and prosecution. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehin, NTA News.
And the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has apprehended a Brazil-based drug kingpin and also intercepted 36 blocks of cocaine weighing 27.95 kilograms with a street value of over 8 billion naira at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MIA, in Ikeja, Lagos. In a statement released by the Director, Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, the arrested drug lord Ejiofor Felix Enwerako, during a preliminary interrogation, confessed to have been contracted by his Ethiopian associate, who is a notorious drug baron, to claim and push out the consignment in Lagos, Nigeria. He further admitted to have paid the £24,500 bribe to compromise NDLEA officers. His group is suspected to be responsible for recruiting traffickers to move illicit drugs to various destinations using Nigeria as their transit location. Chairman of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, said the agency will not target only traffickers, but with the same vigor target the cartels and the kingpins that operate them. And back here in FCT, the Minister of State, Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, has expressed the determination of the FCT administration to collaborate with resourceful bee farmers towards creating an enabling environment for the growth of the agricultural sector in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, the minister was speaking at the commemoration of the 2021 International Bee Day, and our correspondent Ifeanyi Izumba was there.
FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu identified lack of modern beekeeping techniques and access to inputs as some of the major challenges facing the agriculture sector in the nation's capital. She, however, affirmed that despite the numerous challenges, the FCT administration, through the Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, has organized various farming programs to expose the farmers to modern techniques in bee production.
With an unending desire to meet their need for food, clothing, and shelter. The significance of this day, therefore, cannot be overemphasized, as researches indicated that bees pollinate about 80% of world's plants and about 90% of food and cash crops.
The Acting Secretary, FCT Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Prosper Ibe, stressed that the Secretariat, through the Department of Forestry, has been providing support towards the development of the sector.
Apart from the training program that the Secretariat has organized for bee farmers in the FCT, we have provided them with various modern beekeeping equipment towards strengthening production activities of our farmers. The department has equally been making efforts to organize the members of the association into effective cooperative groups.
In recognition of the significant role that bee plays in the sustenance of biodiversity, the United Nations in 2018 designated May 20th as the International Bee Day. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Esumba, NTA News.
Very interesting. Now, in Jigawa State, farmers have resumed cultivation of irrigation sites along Abuja River Valley as thousands of hectares of farmlands taken over by taifa grass along the stretch of the river basin are being recovered. Now, the multi-billion recovery project awarded by the federal government in 2018 is steadily progressing, and that's according to our correspondent Mohammed Musa Askira.
Initiated since 1981, the Hadejia Valley Irrigation Scheme project was abandoned due to poor funding to execute the program. This has over the years resulted into destroying thousands of hectares of farmlands covered by taifa grass silting the entire length of Hadejia Jamare River Basin, leaving in its trail annual destructive flooding affecting many local governments areas of Jigawa State. Worried by this development, President Muhammadu Buhari has in 2018 awarded the contract for the rehabilitation of the existing gravity irrigation area at the cost of about 9.4 billion naira to reopen the blocked waterways to address the annual flooding, creating vast grazing land and resuscitate the means of livelihood for communities living along the basin.
Due to this work, the animals will get food, whereby production of meat will increase, production of fish will increase, production of food crop will increase.
This is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's aggressive pursuit of agricultural development and that of Governor Muhammadu Badru Abubakar to diversify the sources of the nation's economy, besides the need to ensure food security in the country.
The basic concept is to starve the taifa grass of water so that it will naturally dry up.
You can see the land is reclaimed. The farmers are busy working in their own farm. Some of them, they couldn't even farm in their own land for more than 16 years.
With 3 years completion period, the rehabilitation project located in Abuja local government area of Jigawa State is being carried out under the Transforming Irrigation Management in Nigeria program supported by the World Bank. In Dute, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And retired civil servants in Lagos State are having a new lease of life as the state government equips them with entrepreneurial skills at a 3-day workshop which opens in Alausa, Lagos. Musa Toliat has the details.
The workshop seeks to equip the state's senior citizens with requisite skills and competence in fish, poultry, and snail farming. The objective of the program is to assist the participants set up small and medium enterprises, which will further make them productive and active contributors to the Lagos State gross domestic product. Lagos State Head of Service, Hakim Moriokola, who was represented, said the intention of the government is to help the retirees grow their businesses to become employers of labor, remain active, and have a veritable source of income even in retirement.
We provide things for them, tools to take off. We do that. You heard that one of the earlier retiree trained will be supplying them fingerlings. It's at our own expense. We pay for it. We encourage them. When he has the fingerlings, he gives to them. We pay for it, the government. So we are not asking them to pay for that.
Some participants react to the training program.
With what the government is doing, I really appreciate it because since I retired, I've been thinking of what to do. And God so good, this is where my interest lies.
we have been employee for a very long time. Now we'll now be employers of labor.
I'm very impressed with the scheme, the cost structure, the cost content, as well as the facilitators.
The event is the second edition of the quarterly training and sensitization program for the retirees of Lagos State Public Service. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
Now, we are part of the solution, is the message of the 2021 International Day for Biodiversity. And like many countries of the world, Nigeria is also making commitments to the agenda for sustainable development to protect the planet from degradation. Onongie Fineface will tell us all about it.
International Day for Biodiversity is a reminder that man and nature are in one community, and this underscores the importance of concrete, concerted and coordinated global actions for the conservation, restoration and sustainable use of biodiversity.
By reversing biodiversity loss, we can improve human health, realize sustainable development and address the climate emergency.
The day is also a call for people to be part of the solution to the biodiversity crisis by preserving natural ecosystems.
If you take 5 mango trees, orange trees, and plant it within your house environment, it's going to give you shade, it's going to give you clean air, and you have benefits from it as well.
For Nigeria, the day is another opportunity to articulate the country's climate ambition, an action the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, considers crucial to biodiversity conservation.
Currently, we are championing energy transition to reduce dependence on carbon-intensive energy sources. Based on that, one of our commitment in the NDCs, one of the sectors is provision of solar energy, that is power sector.
International Day for Biodiversity is a major build-up to the 15th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity, COP15, slated for October 2021 in China. Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
Now, after his formal defection, Cross River State Governor Ben Oyade has met with the leadership and members of the All Progressives Congress in the state with the message of unity to consolidate on the gains of the party ahead of 2023 general elections. Paul Ebo reports.
The meeting, which is the first in the series of consultations to reposition the ABC in the state, affords the governor the opportunity to appreciate the people for the strong opposition when he was in the PDP, which spurred him to record achievements in the state. Governor Ayade promised a peaceful electoral process in the future, while the APC state chairman pledged to give him total support for more successes in the state.
We can't afford a salamanization that is always orchestrated by politics. What we're going to do is politician, because the policing process of our elections, our courage and our conduct will show that we have one indivisible state. Now that he's part of the mainstream, we are going to all rally behind him. We will be behind you 100%. For once, instead of complaining, let us direct our energy positively and support him.
In the spirit of fairness, Governor Ayade issued a directive to appoint 500 APC members to positions of authority. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on behalf of the National Executive Committee, has approved the dissolution of the State Caretaker Committee for the Cross River State chapter of the party. Timothy Yusuf reports that the party's stakeholders, led by former Governor Leah Limoke and the party's National Secretariat in Abuja, say the PDP structure, however, in the state remains intact.
The decision of the PDP to dissolve and subsequently replace the Cross River State chapter of Caretaker Committee, according to the party's spokesman Kola Olobundion, is in pursuant to the powers conferred on the NWC by the PDP constitution. Consequently, the NWC constituted a new State Caretaker Committee to pilot the affairs of the chapter of the party at the state level. Effiok Kobam is chairman of the 10-man committee, while Eko Atu is secretary. Other structure of the party at the local government and ward levels in the state remain intact. Meanwhile, the Cross River PDP Stakeholders Forum, led by former Governor Lee Elimoke, has described Governor Ben Ayade's exit from the PDP as regrettable but not unexpected. He affirmed that the majority of citizens who had supported the party from inception remain in the PDP.
We, as a party, therefore remain virile and strong. Hence, the events in our state avail us an opportunity to re-strategize.
Senator Gershon Bassi, on behalf of National Assembly members from the state, reaffirmed their loyalty to the party. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And the Saudi Arabian authorities have announced that only 60,000 foreigners will be allowed to perform this year's pilgrimage in the Holy Land. Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Religious Affairs, Alama Tahir Ashrafi, who announced this in a tweet, says the pilgrims would have to follow the coronavirus guideline protocols. The decision is to enable pilgrims access to the Grand and the Prophet's mosques to perform the Hajj and Umrah. Saudi authorities had earlier announced that only people immunized against COVID-19 will be allowed to perform the Hajj. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria clarifies that the final guideline for the 2021 Hajj operation is yet to be announced. The Commission, in a statement, says it's yet to be communicated on the number of slots allocated to Nigeria. NACON therefore urges the public to consider the information being circulated as guidelines for 2021 Hajj as inconclusive. And the Prelate Emeritus of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Prelate Sunday Mbang, has urged Nigerians to be more security conscious and assist government to win the war against insecurity. The revered clergy and other religious leaders were reacting to incessant criminal activities and attack on security outfits in parts of the country. Joy Ubani completes the report.
The spate of insecurity in the country, most especially in recent times, is becoming unbearable, calling for urgent spiritual attention. In Akwa Ibom State, many people in some parts of the state now live with fear of the unknown.
I think time has come where Nigeria as a whole should now discover that the only help and the source of help is the Lord Almighty.
Criminal activities in the state, which is on the increase, has drawn the attention of the clergy to support government's efforts in achieving lasting solution. The Prelate Methodist Church of Nigeria, Sunday Mbang, says it is pertinent for parents to watch the activities of their children.
We pray, you ask questions, and then, if possible, the pastor should be involved in trying to help in the insecurity problem.
The point of human exhaustion is the point of divine intervention. Now it seems as if we have actually exhausted our human wit. Then let us look up and cry unto God. We believe He will show up.
The clergy pledged their support to government through continuous prayers and sensitization programs in worship centers across the state and Nigeria at large. It will be recalled that the President has called on religious leaders of all faiths to unite and support the fight against insecurity in the country. In Uyo, Joy Ubani, NTA.
Now, in line with the theme of this year's United Nations Road Safety Week, that's Street for Life, the Federal Road Safety Corps, Imo State Command, has pledged to ensure enforcement of recommended speed limit in the overall interest of Nigerians. Faith Iwilo reports that the officers have already commenced regular checks on the roads to ensure compliance.
The United Nations Global Road Safety Week is known to be a medium used globally to raise awareness of road safety in order to make changes that will reduce the rate of deaths and injuries from road traffic crashes. For the Federal Road Safety Corps Imo State Command, the week is used to engage in aggressive campaign against traffic violations, especially around built-up areas. The sector commander Joshua Adekoye, who frowned at the level of recklessness exhibited by drivers along internal roads, stresses the need to abide by the speed limits recommended by the United Nations.
The theme for this program that we're having is Street for Life. And from our records, we discovered that most crashes that do happen, they happen as a result of speed. And if we can reduce our speed, it will definitely reduce crashes on our roads. And we have cases of hit and run mostly on our streets. And that is why we are even appealing to the general public that they should reduce their speed.
And Kaduna State plans to employ additional 5,000 road marshals to ensure safer roads in line with the United Nations revised target of reducing road crashes, deaths and injuries by 50% in 2030. The State Commissioner for Works, Balaraba Aliyu Inua, stated this in Kaduna. Ahmed Mohammed Usman reports.
Records show that the first decade of action for road safety officially proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly with the aim of reducing road crashes by 50% in 2020 expired with the inability of middle and low-income countries to meet the set targets. As a result, the United Nations Declaration was reviewed and extended as a second decade of action, starting from 2021 to 2030.
So the United Nations looked at the seriousness of this issue and then declared the theme for 2021. The highways statistics reveal quite a lot of road traffic crashes happen as a result of speed, and so we need to crash the speed.
Kaduna State government has already established some ministries that are saddled with the responsibility of regulating traffic.
If there is any accident, at least 1 or 3 issues may likely happen. Loss of life, loss of property or injuries.
We work hand in hand with them for all areas where the concentration of their help is needed. For example, we work together when there are public holidays or festive periods.
The new advocacy is to reduce the normal speed of 60 km per hour to 30 km per hour speed for cities, especially where people mix with traffic. In Kaduna, Ahmad Mahmoud Usman, NTA News.
All right, time to join Bade Adeleye for Sports Update. Bade, such a bad outing for us this year's CAF Confederation Cup. Enyimba crashed out.
We all knew clear that, it was too huge a mountain for them to, to climb. So the miracle did not, happen for them. All right, welcome to sports. I'm Bade Adeleye. Let's begin from the court as 2018 Kwesi Basketball Championship winners Gombe Bulls on Saturday added another trophy to their kitty by winning the Maiden Northeast Basketball Challenge tournament after outdunking Plateau Peaks 44-33 in the final at the Multipurpose Hall, Bauchi. The tournament, which was organized by the Premier Basketball Foundation in partnership with Bauchi State Basketball Association, had 5 teams from Northeast and 1 from North Central.
And it feels good coming out to be the MVP of this championship, with all the hard work and the results is paying off. It feels good. Like, there was no easy game in this tournament. As small or as big as it might be, there's no easy opponent. All of them came out with their full game.
Right, to football now. The Maiden Abuja All-Stars Invitational Football Tournament kicked off in Abuja Saturday with match day 1 producing some interesting results. Host team Abuja All-Stars International lost 1-2 to Unity Sports Foundation, with USF goalkeeper Edmond Chuka Azubike producing a man-of-the-match performance, while Capital Sportive and Like Minds played goalless. Yanya All-Stars defeated Metro City 1-0, with CKSA recording a 2-1 victory over Kuje All-Stars.
First of all, I thank God Almighty, because it's not by my power. Let's go and win. That's our slogan. So I am that confident that we will make it to the final.
I'm overwhelmed with joy and knowing that we are beating the best or perceived the best team in the tournament.
It's just the first game, but it's working as well as we planned. Unfortunately, we lost. Their goalkeeper was exceptional, and we played well.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Mini Football Association has invited 60 players to camp as screening begins for the upcoming African Mini Football Nations Cup in Ibadan, Oyo State. Players who make the cut will go for the final campaign for the second Mini Football AFCON, scheduled for 8 to 17th July 2021. Now, Kano Pillars moved top of the Nigeria Professional Football League on Sunday after playing 1-0 away to Katsina United, while Nasarawa United moved one spot to 4th with a 3-1 win against Heartland. Ifeanyi boosted their survival hopes by beating Sunshine Stars 1-0, with Adamawa United and Warri Wolves settling for a 3-0 draw. To the continent now, Nigeria's last surviving representatives on the continent, Eyimba International, on Sunday crashed out of the CAF Confederation Cup after playing a 1-0 draw with visiting Pyramids of Egypt in the quarterfinal second leg in Aba, losing out 5-2 on aggregate. This is the second successive season that the People's Elephants will be eliminated in the last 8th stage. And to Europe now, Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 2-0 on the final day of the Premier League season on Sunday to finish third and qualify for the UEFA Champions League next season, while Chelsea also booked their UCL ticket despite losing 2-1 to Aston Villa. Leicester City dropped to 5th after losing 2-4 at home to Tottenham, while West Ham United beat Southampton to qualify for the Europa League alongside Leicester, while Spurs will play in the maiden UEFA Conference League. Too bad for us now there. Moving to boxing now, Tyson Fury has vowed to beat Deontay Wilder for the second time after signing the contract for a third world heavyweight title fight in Las Vegas on July the 24th. The WBC champion was ordered by an arbitration court to face Wilder next, disrupting plans for an undisputed world title clash against Anthony Joshua, with the Nigerian-born British boxer having been ordered by the WBO to defend his belt against mandatory challenger Alexander Usyk. And of course, that's sports. It's back to Claire, but Claire, you know, knowing that you've got feelings for Arsenal, you won't be part of any competition in Europe next season. That's your pain.
Congratulations to Chelsea. I'm always a Ghana anyway. We're very passionate. I told you earlier on. Anyway, thank you, Buddy. Let's get on with the news now. And President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with family of former Senate President, the late Choba Okadigbo, on the death of their son, Pharaoh Okadigbo. In a statement by his special advisor on media publicity, Femi Adesina, the president says it is very sad to lose such a promising young man with passion for youth involvement. President Buhari adds that the nation will miss a firm believer in the necessity for the people to work in collaboration with governments at all levels to achieve a better society. Let's take a look at the weather prospects for tomorrow, Monday, across parts of the country.
You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.
All right, sorry about that. We couldn't bring you the weather, but just be cautious and go out with your umbrellas for safety's sake. And that's the news from here. Don't forget that Jenny will be back in a short while to bring you Newsline, but that will be after these commercials.
The brightest stars, they burn with more passion. See that? Shooting star. Impressive, but no legs. Now that star is called Sirius. When I was a kid, I was inspired by that star. Like Sirius, I wanted to shine brighter. I wanted to stand out. That's a champion star, right? And it warms my heart to know that right now, that same star shines over a new generation of Nigerians. Passionate about their dreams. Shine, my people, shine. Speaking of champions, the word serious is green. It means to glow. Coincidence? No way. Glow? A halo.
I'm with you at every stage of your life. Providing comfort when you are keeping fit. Comfort when you are expecting your bundle of joy. Comfort during motherhood. Comfort in your office. Comfort in your car. Comfort when sharing a meal. Comfort at bedtime. From cradle to grey, there's comfort for you with Vitafoam. Quality is vital. Quality is Vitafoam. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action, like this. And this. And this. And this. With MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
It's a good day and everyone's excited. Feel the rhythm, let's get the party started. Move your body to the groove as you the feeling this bedroom. Anywhere you go, forget about your age. It no matter who you be, you better go enter body. It no matter where you get, I beg you start to jolly. Different movie, the shalala. Now we get the vibe, yo yo. Enjoyment, yapa, celebration, na na na. Osa, osa. Osa, osa. Give me that smooth groove. Osa, osa.
Think Chapman, drink smooth.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Cause you volatile like the water. And you promise what you don't know. Sometimes it's right and then it's so wrong. Them go do like say them why. Who promise you the world. Brother, all now worship. Up all on the open eye. I see no feel water. Can't keep up the letter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The federal government of Nigeria is still conducting the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination. In addition to health workers, frontline workers aged 18 years and above and persons aged 50 years and above are advised to visit any designated vaccination site to receive the COVID-19 vaccine free of charge. The vaccine is safe, protects against COVID-19 and helps to restore socio-economic activities in the country. After your first dose, Check your vaccination card for the date of the second dose. Ensure you receive the second dose for full protection against COVID-19. Say yes to COVID-19 vaccine. For inquiries, call the COVID-19 Vaccine Call Center on 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Welcome back. Now, Maraban Jos is very popular for travelers along Kaduna-Zaria Highway. The people have a collective goal of sustaining the vibrant happiness the place is noted for and ensuring it rubs off on those visiting the area. That aspiration could be chartered if a menace is not addressed, and the cause of this threat on the collective vision of the people is the upsurge in rape cases involving minors. Achari Maxwell reports that the community is crying out for help. He captures the challenge in this heart-touching story.
Mararaban Jos is a popular stopover along Kaduna-Zaria axis. It is a melting point for articulated vehicles in northern Nigeria. Like any organized society, here we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. In Mararaban Jos community, peace and understanding is the order of the day. And now to the other side of the story about Amina Suleiman. Very popular and friendly among her peers, sadly, her community was thrown into mourning when her lifeless body was found behind her father's house, suspected to have been raped and killed. These are her friends, and they have come to terms with the reality that they will not see her again because she was killed by evil men. The situation here is that of pain and sorrow.
They have killed my daughter. It is quite a painful death. Only God will intervene in the issue.
When we are looking for the girl and we don't see her, when we go through the lines, then we just found her fall on the ground. She dead. Then we just took her to come to the house. After that, we go to the hospital and she was dead.
We want the government to help us out. The rape of minor is becoming rampant.
As if that was not enough, 2 days after, another minor was raped within the same area. She was lucky to be alive, but defiled at the age of 6. A suspect was apprehended by the local vigilante service and handed over to the police.
All I want is justice.
The entire community and activists on gender-based violence are worried about the emergence of rape of minors in the area.
The parent had wanted to forgive him because they said there is no suspect yet. So they wanted to go on and bury their child, which I advised them not to do that because we need to investigate and run a medical test that is post-mortem. What we want to see going forward, we don't want this thing to be repeating itself because it happened in the past. That is in Kulmi Marsh area of Kaduna State. It's still within just 2 local government away from AKP. Maraban Jos, they raped a girl. After 4 months, they raped her to death, dropped in a mosque. I think NTA 2 covered the story. After 4 months, they raped another one, the same age, 6 years, and she was dropped in a burial ground. And up to today, no suspect have been arrested.
The community on its own is on aggressive sensitization on how to protect their young boys and girls.
We must all stand against rape and rapists. Justice must be served. Now, our next story is a classic example of child abuse. Now, what would make a teacher give a child the beating of his life for a negligible offense? Surely no reason of provocation warrants this sort of violence against a child. Fatality Awal Abba from Gombe State tells us more about the case of a 6-year-old Almajiri boy who was brutalized by his teacher.
6-year-old orphan Aliya Ali, Almajiri boy who hails from Burong village in Dombwa local government area of Borno State, that lost his father as a result of the insurgency, was sent to Gombe in search of Islamic knowledge by his mother. Recently, little Aliyu was found by a good Samaritan with bruises all over his body, lying unconscious along the street, and took him to the office of the human rights. I found him not medically fit and decided to take him to the appropriate authority for medical attention. Little Aliyu, after regaining consciousness, could not express himself as expected due to fear, but was only able to say few words after NTA news crew calmed him down, revealing that he was always beaten by his teacher. I was beaten by my teacher for my inability to read what I was taught. The proprietor of the Zangaya school, Muhammad Abdullahi, confessed to his crime, pointing out that little Aliyu is stubborn and always late back home. So he decided to punish him in his own way. I kept him at home after the punishment for 4 days. After that, one of his friends took him out in search of food, and Aliyu took to his heel when his friend asked him to come back home. The Civil Liberties Organization, Gombe, are presently handling Aliyu's case.
But he is underage, just around 6. That he doesn't know himself even how this type of maltreatment have go inflict on him. So it is unfortunate that such things are happening.
The wife of the state governor, as a mother, was quick to respond to the case of little Aliyu and promised to give the needed assistance to ensure that he stays with his family.
We will come in to assist the family of this Aliyu. If you look at it, the reason why maybe the parents brought him here maybe is a poverty.
Aliyu has been taken to the hospital for proper treatment.
Pupils don't forget teachers that are kind, caring, and passionate. Sadly, some people don't understand this. Now you're watching Newsline. There is so much more to come. Join us after the break.
I need help, so please go to the market and get me everything I need to cook this food. Get my pepper and get my onions. I'm waiting. Do you know how to buy pepper? Do you know how to buy dashi? You won't even let my mother come and stay. I need help. You don't know how stressful it is taking care of these 3 kids. Are you still there? If you're not getting me fresh meat, do you understand? Okay, I'm at the meat. Can you switch to video call, please? Okay, give me that one. The one by your side. Okay, fine. Hey, please.
Where do I buy all these things now? Hey, go get Glow Berekete and call madam.
Berekete. The heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 Naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
It is time for celebration. Oh. 30 years bustling with goodness. Eh. The challenge can never ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate it. Ultra Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Ultra Guinness, enjoy a world of
Help make nights rest-filled by keeping baby's bum dry all night with Huggies Dry Comfort. With our stretchy waistband and super absorbent core, Huggies Dry Comfort provides all-night dryness and comfort to make nighttime rest-filled for baby and you. Huggies, for all-night dryness and comfort.
Since 1971, Nigeria's foremost human capital development institution, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, has been at the forefront of equipping Nigerians with skills for national growth. Today's ITF has repositioned and refocused its programs, forging new partnerships locally and internationally to effectively deliver on its mandate. With 37 area offices and 5 industrial skills training centers across the country, ITF is pushing to reduce unemployment by providing relevant technical and vocational skills skills for employability and entrepreneurship in diverse trades and crafts. Whether you're a public or private organization seeking to improve the skills of your personnel or an individual looking to acquire skills that will increase your chances of employment or even to help start your own business, today's ITF has a program for you. Speak to us today. Contact our area offices nationwide or visit our website www.itf.gov.ng. ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
My name is Chikwe Ihakwazu. I lead the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. I'm extremely privileged to have gotten this vaccine today. Really, I accept it really on behalf of all the healthcare workers, public health workers. I've really spent the last 12 months working so incredibly hard on this response. And I think it provides hope. You know, this vaccine really provides us an opportunity to reinvigorate ourselves as we sustain the response in Nigeria. So this vaccine provides us a real shot at life. But, you know, that shot will come into effect when we have most of the population vaccinated. We have to keep washing our hands, wearing our masks, keeping apart from each other until we have enough people vaccinated in the country. And I'm sure we'll get there.
Welcome back. Now, Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, Nigeria's leading gas and oil firm, is breaking new grounds in the industry with the plans to drive a more sustainable energy generation through the annual gas processing plant as a way to reduce carbon emissions. Chairman Seplat Petroleum ABC Ojako, while railing out efforts of the company at sustaining good financial records at the 8th Annual General Meeting, announced a total dividend of 10 cents payable to shareholders for 2020 fiscal year. Abolade Salami reports.
No doubt, most companies in 2020 financial year had their closing figures in red, while some who couldn't bear the suppression of COVID-19 pandemic had to downsize or close business. The same wasn't for Seplat Petroleum Development Company, which working strategy was built on resilience, strength, and value creation. The company at the 8th Annual General Meeting observed under COVID-19 protocol, intimated stakeholders on the financial expenditure for the year ended December 31st, 2020.
The company does not have real financial loss. What you have seen...
With a reversed operating profit of $121 million and $318 million cash generated from operations as against the $150 million invested in future growth. The company, as a way of rewarding shareholders, in October 2020 paid an interim dividend of 5 cents and an additional 5 cents in December of the same year.
This is actually promise kept. When we started this company, we were clear in our minds that we'll be declaring value to all stakeholders. Remember, our core value is value creation, integrity, and partnership. Therefore, we promised the shareholders that we're going to have them receiving a real capital appreciation as well as dividend. We therefore have to consistently pay dividend to deliver on that promise, as well as making sure that the shareholder return is guaranteed.
In maintaining its leadership role, Seplat Petroleum drilled 6 oil wells and 3 gas wells in the year under review to focus on high-margin oil wells. Given Nigeria's need to improve access to energy and the potential for significant market growth, Seplat is positioned to diversify and sustain its strength as energy company in the future.
If we look at our business, you know, having petroleum in our business doesn't really reflect everything that we are. So we're changing our name. We just had it approved today by the shareholders. We're going to change it to Seplat Energy. And that really shows 3 bits to our business: our oil business, our gas business, which we're building quite rapidly. And then as we look into transition into the future, renewable energy really is going to be a much bigger mix of the energy mix globally. And we see that here.
Chairman of Seplat Petroleum seeks the approval of stakeholders and the change of name of Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC to Seplat Energy PLC to reflect the company's intention of taking the lead in energy transition in the next decade.
It is not enough that we are in position of authority if we do not succeed. Those coming after us will be defined by our failure. Now, those were the words of Governor Bala Muhammad at his investiture as Honorary Fellow and Patron of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations in Bauchi State. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed captured the event for Newsline.
The procession by council members marks the beginning of the investiture of Governor Bala Muhammad as a honorary fellow and patron of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is a product of Decree No. 16 of 1990.
Mukhtar Zubairu is the president of the institute. He acknowledges the developmental footprints of Governor Bala Muhammad in what he described as a monumental change in the history of Bauchi State.
The fact that at the inception of your administration, Bauchi was almost at the rock bottom of the table in the performance index of the WAEC exams, with a very significant percentage of primary school enrollees making it to the tertiary education level, a near 1.5 million out of school children, coupled with that of infrastructure and manpower, among others, just in the education sector alone, your work was definitely cut out for you.
He says NIPR is a partner in government's effort towards dousing tension in the land and beats the drum of unity rather than the drum of war.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Preceded by the decoration of Governor Bala Muhammad as a fellow and a patron of the NIPR, the governor sees his honor as a call not to relent in changing the lives and fortunes of his people.
We have to do so many things at the same time with scarce resources. And that's why there's the discomfort here and there. Definitely, as a politician, people are saying we have not done empowerment. Yes, we cannot eat our cake and have it. We cannot just share the cake without really spreading it for a broad spectrum way and manner that will impact in a multidimensional way, where we'll be able to make an impact, positive impact on the scarce of our resources, of our infrastructure and services.
A senator in the 6th Assembly and former minister of the FCT, Governor Bala Muhammad started his career as a journalist.
Congratulations to the governor of Bauchi State. More power to your elbow. Now, news just reaching us says that President Muhammadu Buhari has authorized that the national flag should be flown at half-mast in all public buildings, facilities, and official residence with effect from Monday, 24th to Wednesday, 26th May 2021. This approval is to honor the memory and services of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, 10 senior military and service members who lost their lives in the plane crash of Friday, 21st May 2021. In a statement, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, noted that the President has similarly approved a work-free day for members of the armed forces on Monday, 24th May 2021. Now, away from that, it was a gathering of compassionate minds and individuals dedicated to selfless service to humanity as Rotarians within and outside the nation converged on Kwara State for the annual District 9125 Joint Conference. The crucial meeting centered on review of achievements and for the humanitarian organization to chart a way forward. Kende Omolosho reports that the conference rounded off with a colorful gala night.
Rotary International is an organization of business people and professionals united worldwide who provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. The club has impacted positively on the lives of many Nigerians with the provision of health infrastructure, water, as well as playing a leading role in the eradication of polio. Aside charting a way forward for Rotary International, The conference is also an opportunity to review activities of the District 9125 in the last year.
The degree of development in the society is measured and evaluated not by the material wealth of a few, but rather by how the weak and the powerless in their midst are treated.
According to the first female district governor of District 9125, Jumoke Bangboye, the conference afforded her the opportunity to reflect on her activities since her inception as the governor.
Like the Rotary theme for the year is Rotary Opens Opportunity. And within this 1 year, we've actually opened lots of opportunities to those in our communities.
She has given her life, talent, everything to serve humanity. And I'm not surprised that today she's the district governor because she's been very hardworking.
Rotarians are convinced giving back to society, which has been the key cause of Rotary Club, should never go into extinction, but rather be spread across the globe.
The idea of a district conference is to awake the interest of the society. When you encourage people to come together as friends, relate together, and do projects together, this way we make sure that there's peace among them.
Rotary is so impactful in terms of the ways that we're doing projects and helping people in communities and the ways we're lifting individuals in leadership.
The week-long activities of the Rotary Club came to an end with a gala night which availed members the opportunity to see the district governor-elect, who was led into the hall amidst dancing and jubilation.
We have also highlighted projects that are going to intervene in medical attentions of where a lot of people cannot get adequate attentions on. Cleft lid surgery, hepatitis B test, and so many things in the disease and prevention area. And these are some of the things that will help shape the next Rotary year.
We experimented on this 1 week and it's been very, very successful with the support of all members.
Indeed, the experience of all participants at the district conference will linger on their minds for a long time, as many say they enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere of Kwara State.
Well done, Rotarians, and keep up your key motto, service above self. Now, the commemoration of the 2021 Eid al-Fitr has come and gone, but its colors and rhythms still linger. In line with this, Tudunwada community in Kano State could simply not resist the urge to show off the ambience of their heroic past. They staged a cultural rebirth to the excitement of beholding eyes. Muhammad Rabiu Ali tells us how and why.
Culture represents the artistic choices, behavioral, beliefs, and religious diversity of a particular region. The way in which a certain society develops has a key role in the development of its culture and language. For Tudunwada community in Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, predominantly Hausa, love to maintain their culture by practicing and instilling the values to younger ones. This community has been observing these cultural displays for more than 50 years on this arena to engage youth by reflecting on the core traditions, especially during Salah celebration, to keep them away from social vices. These include traditional wrestling and boxing, Hausa drama, among other artistic displays.
This is Aminu Melakwasa, a person who twists his body the way he likes. This is an amazing display. Look at it.
We are celebrating this traditional homage because our children, our grandchildren, they don't know the value of the culture of Hausa people. We are orienting our junior ones and grandchildren to know the value of Hausa people, the culture of Hausa people.
Children were not left out in the celebration.
Never ever seen how they are doing this Salah celebration, but today I'm so happy for the Salah celebration, for everything.
A quote from Marcus Garvey says, "A community without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots."
Great way of communicating deeds from the past for future generations to learn from. Now, this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration has been rounded off in Bida, the ancient town of the Nupes, with the traditional Hawan barricade. Although the colorful event was devoid of the speeches that usually heralds Doba, the Etsunupe and Chairman Niger State Council of Traditional Rulers, Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar, and company of other traditional title holders rode on horseback across major streets of the town as his subjects trooped out to catch a glimpse of the event. Jones Ajayi filed this report.
Historical perspective, Bariki, which is usually observed on the 5th day of both Eid Fitri and Eid Adha, signifies the end of the celebration, started in 1901 during the colonial era when the then Etsunupe Mohammed Malkou used to visit the divisional officer of Bidda who resides at the government reserved area GRA to pay homage. While returning to the palace from GRA, the Etsunupe leading other traditional title holders is usually welcomed back by the people, chanting songs of solidarity and salutations as they line up the streets amidst pomp and pageantry until the royal father finally got to his palace at Wadata area. That was the future of Bariki celebration until 1960, when Nigeria got her independence, which necessitated the current format of celebration. Although the event is still being celebrated, Etsunupe now takes the center stage as the focal personality with other title holders on horseback riding through the designated streets across the town.
So this is a very good heritage, and I pray that the younger generations will keep the flag flying.
The royal father also used the opportunity to see his subjects and other residents as well as general well-being of the town. Similarly, as the procession continues, another popular feature of the celebrations is that the Etsunupe stops at short intervals to give out kola nuts as a mark of blessings to his people. Unlike what was obtained before now, the procession of Bariki does not cover the GRA again, but central parts of the town and ends at Usman Zaki Palace, the paternal home of the Etsunupe, where he usually takes a rest to refresh before the second and concluding segment of the celebration. The concluding part of the event is therefore kick-started from the Usman Zaki Palace to other parts of the town and terminated at the Wadada Palace where it all began. Etsunupe then addresses all those who contributed to the success of the biennial celebration emphasizing the significance of the event and appreciating all and sundry for their steadfastness at preserving the rich tradition.
It's very important that from year to year, periodically we do this so that people would be able to move forward and then be able to look responsible and then follow their leaders. Leadership role is very important, whereby the people, the leader and the led are communicating.
Nothing brings people together like festivals. Very interesting events there. Time for another break. Stay with us.
Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution cordially invites members of the public to a two-day zonal public hearing on the proposed alteration to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. The public hearing will hold in two centers in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria as follows. Date, Wednesday, 26th and Thursday, 27th May 2021. Time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Venue, North Central, Jos Center, Plateau, Nasarawa and Benue, Mina Center, Niger, Kwara, Kogi and FCT. Northeast, Bauchi Center, Bauchi, Yobe and Borno, Gombe Center, Gombe, Taraba and Adamawa. Northwest, Kaduna Center, Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa and Katsina. Sokoto Center, Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara. Southeast, Owerri Center, Imo and Abia. Enugu Center, Enugu, Ebonyi and Anambra. South, Asaba Center, Delta, Edo and Bayelsa. Port Harcourt Center, Rivers, Cross River and Akwa Ibom. Southwest, Lagos Center, Lagos, Oyo and Ogun. Akure Center, Ondo, Osun and Ekiti. This is an opportunity for a national discourse on the Constitution. Be part of this process and make your voice heard on issues around political inclusion of women and marginalized groups, restructuring, local government autonomy, INEC and credible elections, citizenship, state policing, socio-economic rights, judicial reforms and other issues of national concern. Individuals and organizations are hereby invited to make presentations at this hearing. For further inquiries, contact the Clerk of the Community, Dr. Innocent Mebiri, on 0803-7092-195 or 0805-5307-604. You can send an email to scrc@nass@gmail.com. This message is brought to you by Senator Ovie Omoagege, Deputy President of the Senate and Chairman, Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, supported by Yaga Africa and the European Union.
Is there ahead?
Full of nourishment and vitality. Antibodies and shock bacteria. Ovaltine 3-in-1. 3-in-1. Ovaltine 3-in-1.
New Ovaltine 3-in-1. Smart choice for smart kids.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
You don't wait for him. The dying minute of the football season, where they come with extra drama. Better heartbreak. And the victory where you go to tell your picking and your picking them. But anyhow way it take happen, we dey gidigba with our team. Na for life. Na football will make sense be this. And you no fit miss am. Stay connected on top your Go TV. Make yourself see all the gbas wey dey shele live this whole month of May as football season don enter final lap. Go TV. Love it.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Welcome back. Now, the high rate of indecent dressing among youths in Nigeria has continued to be a source of concern, as it is said to be contributing to high moral decadence in the society. Nkiru Onyejesi reports that this trend is very common among youths and even some adults.
Indecent dressing, also known as immodest dressing, was over the years uncommon in Africa, but today it is negatively becoming part of the lifestyle among the youths, and at the same time leading to the increase in the rate of immorality in the society. Hence, respondents are of the view that parents and the church have a big role to play if indecent dressing must be checked and reduced among youths by teaching them early enough the dangers of exposing their bodies and the misconception it will have on them.
I think parents have the major role to play when it comes to indecent dressing. They should watch out for what their children wear as when they are leaving the house for schooling. Let the churches too should also look at it. The churches also look at it, should take time to teach this and not just some money thing.
It's becoming serious. Now this period now they see them wearing tights that women are supposed to put in and put on skirt or trouser. But you see them putting it on and coming out. And they say tomorrow that somebody raped them.
Civilization have caused a lot of problems to us. Most of them follow the trend of white people. If it is a law that the government puts that any girls that dress naked or boys that so thing we are put to them, I think that will help a lot of things.
They, however, urge youth, especially ladies who are more vulnerable to disease from all forms of immorality, by being modest in their outfit to avoid sexual harassment.
Indecent dressing is against the societal value and it should be addressed. So youth should try out their possible best to adhere to what the society is saying.
What this indecent dressings can cause to them. You know, when you talk about the rate at which rape is increasing, so in order to just cope this, we just have to tell them that, oh, this is what it can cause, this is what it can bring to you, but if we can cover ourselves properly, then this can be wiped off.
They are of the view that to frontally eliminate indecent dressing, strict enforcement of dress codes should be introduced in tertiary institutions across the country.
Now, what is fashion to one person may not be for another. The bottom line is decency. If you don't have that at the back of your mind, then it becomes a problem. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll take another story.
My name is Nancy Oyedia Orom. I'm AIT correspondent. I've been covering the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 the last 1 year. I just took the jab, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and it was seamless. And I was opportune to take these vaccines with the SGF, the ministers. So I want to use this medium as a journalist for someone who has experienced COVID in the last 1 year. I want to implore media houses, broadcast industries. Let's join hands together to propagate the good information out there for people to believe in these vaccines. That's the only way we can have health immunity and also achieve the projection and target of Nigeria come 2022. Well, I must implore all Nigerians to go out there, register on the Primary Healthcare Development Agency website. These vaccines are free for all Nigerians. Go to the website, register. It is free for you and I.
Welcome back. Now that's Newsline this week, and we hope to see you again next week because we'll definitely have more interesting stories for your delight. So until next week, when another episode of Newsline comes your way, thank you for watching and God bless Nigeria.